Let me ask you something, and I genuinely want you to think about it before I give you my answer. In your experience, whether you run a company, lead a team, or work in business development, where do you think companies lose the most opportunities? Is it in finding them in the first place? Is it in tendering stage, writing proposal, competing for contracts? Is it in execution, where delivery goes wrong? Or is it client management, where you keep the clients you've already won? I've been asking this question for years, and today I'm going to share what I've found, and it might surprise you. First, let me get clear what these four stages actually mean, because every business goes through them, whether they label them or not. Stage one, finding opportunities. This is your market intelligence, your lead generation, your business development activities. It's the moment before you even know a deal exists. Stage two, tendering. This is where you compete. Proposal, bids, pitches, RFPs. The stage where you are up against others and making your case. Stage three, execution. You've won. Now you have to deliver. This is where promises meet reality. Projects, services, products, whatever you said, you now have to produce. Stage four, client management. The relationship after delivery, renewals, upsells, referrals, keeping the client so happy they bring you back and bring others. Now, most companies invest heavily in at least one of these. Some are great at winning tenders. Some have executional delivery team. Some have incredible relationship managers. But here is the unforgettable truth I keep running into. The big review is the gaps. The losses are not happening inside these stages. They are happening in between them. I call these the revenue gaps, and every company has them. The question is just how wide yours are. Let me walk you through each one. Gap one, finding to tendering. You've identified an opportunity. Great. But how long does it sit before someone acts on it? A week? 2 weeks? In that time, a competitor has already built a relationship with the decision makers. By the time your proposal lands, you're playing catch up. The opportunity existed. You found it. You just handled it off too slowly. Gap two, tendering to execution. You won. Congratulations. Now, does your operation team know? Does your delivery lead have the context from the sales conversation? I can't count how many times I've seen a client say, "We were so excited after we were selected," and then nothing happens for 3 weeks. The momentum dies in this gap. The client's confidence erodes before the work even starts. Gap three, execution to client management. Delivering is done. The team pats themselves on the back and move on. But no one picks up the phone. No one checks in. No one documents the wins to reference in the next conversation. The client is satisfied, but not nurtured. And 6 months later, when their renewal comes up, a competitor is already in the room. Why does these gaps exist? In my experience, it calls down to three things. Siloed teams, business development, sales, operations, and account management often report to different leaders using different systems and speak different languages. The baton drop happens at the handoff because the runners train separately. Nobody is accountable for what happens in the space between winning and starting, between delivery and follow up. Momentum is undervalued. We track revenue, we track win rates, we track NPS, but we rarely track momentum, the speed and energy we build, moving through the pipeline. And when momentum dies, so does the deal or the relationship. Here is a simple question to test this in your own business. How long does it take, on average, from winning a contract to the client receiving their first meaningful communication from your delivery team? If you don't know what number, you have a gap. From winning a contract to the client receiving their first meaningful communication from your delivery team, if you don't know that number, you have a gap. The fix, what to actually do. The good news that gaps are fixable, and unlike rebuilding a stage, which takes months, you can start closing gaps this week. Appoint a gap owner. For each transition, assign someone whose job is to ensure a clean handover, not to do both stages, just to own the bridge. This single move eliminates more revenue loss than most processed redesigns. Create a transition checklist. What needs to happen before any opportunity moves from finding to tendering? What information needs to transfer from sales team to operation after a win? Write it down. Make it non-negotiable. Set a momentum metric. Track time in transition. How long does a deal sit between stages? Set a target, and when you bridge it, flag it immediately. Speed is a competitive advantage here. Build a 48-hour rule after any major stage. A bid submitted, a project delivered, a contract signed, someone contacts the client within 48 hours, not to sell, just to connect. This one habit alone changes retention. Back to my question. Where do companies lose opportunity most? It's not finding, it's not tendering, it's not execution, it's not client management. It's the gap between them all. And the companies that close those gaps, not perfectly but consistently, are the ones that compound growth over time. Because every deal they win, they protect. Every relationship they build, they maintain. Every piece of momentum they generate, they preserve. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Which gap do you think is most costly in your industry? Is it the handoff from finding to tendering, winning to delivery, or delivery to retention? I read every comment and I will reply personally to as many as I can. And if this gave you something to think about, share it with someone who runs a team. This is a conversation more businesses need to be having.